Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another MAT 142 concept session. Today, we're going to be talking about how to evaluate permutations and combinations. My name is Nick, and I work with the ASU Tutoring Center, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we dive into the two questions on your screen, let's go ahead and talk about the differences and the formulas for permutations and combinations. So I'm going to denote combinations with just a C over here to make things easy. Another way that you can kind of rewrite things is in the format of N big C R. Now, in this case, the N is the total amount of things that you are picking from, right? So for each of our examples here, we have, say, 7 friends are competing in a game, or here we have 50 people are standing in line. So it's the total amount of people, items, things, anything really that you're choosing from, right? And then the R here is how many of the people, items, or whatever you are choosing from. So in this case, we won't spoil anything yet, but yeah, so that's what the R is. And we'll talk about what that R means further when we get into the example problems. And then just to kind of rewrite just to write the formula of combination, it's going to be n factorial all over n minus r factorial times r factorial. Okay, so now for permutations, what we'll do is p equals, and then we'll do the same thing but with a p. And the letters mean the same thing. The formula for permutations is n factorial all over n minus r factorial. Okay, so the main difference between combination and permutation, and hopefully your professor talked about this with you as well, is that the permutations, order matters, right? So what this R is telling you, right, is like how many items you're picking from N, right? But with a permutation, what you're saying is that the R items that you're picking from N, the order matters in which you're picking them from. So say like you're picking even for like, we can just go ahead and look at number 1 because number 1 is using permutations. So for number 1, we have, say, 7 friends are competing in a game. How many ways can first and second place be awarded? So we know that our n equals 7, right? That's the total amount of people that we're picking from. And then our r is going to equal 2, right? Because we have to find a first place person and a second place person. Now, basically, the reason why we're doing permutation and not combination here is because there's a major difference between first place and second place, right? So it's really important on which way you pick either the first person and then the second person, or the second person and then the first person. So that's essentially what permutation is compared to combination. So with so in this case, like, we would use combination if it was just saying how many ways can we pick 2 people from this group, right? Instead of saying how many ways can first and second place be awarded. So we'll look at a combination example in the next question. But to go ahead and just finish this first part, we'll go ahead and just plug everything that we have here into our formula. So it'll be 7 factorial, and then we have n minus r, right, which is 5 factorial. And when you plug all of this into your calculator, you should get the answer of 42. Okay, now for the second question here, it says, say 50 people are standing in line for a ride. How many ways can you group the people into groups of 5? That means that our n is equal to 50, right? And our r is equal to 5. That's the amount of people that we are picking from our 50 people, right? So from here, what we can do is plug into our formula, just like what we did above. So it'll be 50 factorial all over n minus r factorial, and then our r factorial. And when you plug this into your calculator, you should get the answer of 2,118,760. And these are going to be your 2 answers for the respective problems. So hopefully that was able to clear up some confusion. Again, the bottom line really with permutations and combinations is to just one, make sure that you know the formulas and know how to plug those into your calculator. And then also knowing the difference between permutations and combinations, right? So with permutations, order matters, right? So that's the major like takeaway from this, I would say. But if you have any other questions, go ahead and check out that link on your screen, and that'll direct you to our tutor search function where you can input a course or look for any kind of specific tutoring service that we offer, and that'll be able to connect you with that service. But other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day and good luck in your course.